Subject: my ex-wife got caught cheating at 24 years old. Hey, true story. My name is Alan, and I've been watching your channel for a while now, but after what happened to me, I figured maybe my story could help another man out there avoid some of the mistakes I made. This whole situation is still fresh, so it's hard to even put into words, but I'll do my best. And I'm 24 years old. My ex-wife is also 24. We met when we were 18, fresh out of high school. At that time, I thought I had life figured out. I had landed an apprenticeship and was working toward becoming a licensed electrician, going to night school to make it official. I didn't come from money or anything like that, but I was raised with the idea that if you work hard, stay disciplined, and live right, life will reward you. I really believed in that. When I met her, she was sweet, shy, and claimed she was still figuring out her path. She didn't know what she wanted to do career-wise, but she always kept a job. Walmart first, then Taco Bell, then later the gas station. I respected that about her. I told myself, at least she isn't lazy, at least she tries. I was already envisioning marriage and family before I even turned 20. Looking back now, maybe that was naive. By 23, I thought I had it all. I had a stable career path, a decent apartment, and a wife I thought was loyal. We got married, and I really thought I was doing the right thing. I thought I was living proof that if you just put your head down, grind, and build, you can have love and stability. But then reality hit me in the ugliest way possible, the day everything fell apart. This whole nightmare started on an ordinary day. My buddy, who also happened to be her coworker, called me up. He sounded uncomfortable but said, "Bro, I just saw your wife give her number to some dude at the gas station." At first, I didn't even know how to respond. My stomach dropped. I didn't want to believe him, but this is a close friend, not some random person trying to start drama. I didn't blow up. I didn't call her right away. I wanted to process it. About 30 minutes later, she texts me out of the blue. "Hey, love, my mom needs me tonight. I'm going to stay there and be home in the morning." When I read that, it was like my body went cold. My friend had literally just told me she was flirting and giving her number out, and then here she is, telling me she won't be coming home. I wanted to scream, but instead, I played it cool. I texted back, "Okay, love bug, no problem." Inside, though, I was furious. I knew she was scheduled to get off work at 6 p.m., so I got in my car and drove to the gas station. My plan was simple: tail her, see where she really went. Sure enough, she clocked out, got in her car, and started driving. 5 minutes into the drive, I realized she really was heading toward her mom's place. For a second, I felt guilty. Maybe I was just paranoid, but something in my gut told me to stick around. So I did, waiting in the dark. I parked my car nearby and sat there from about 6:30 until 10 p.m. I kept myself occupied, played some chess on my phone, scrolled through TikTok, even called my brother to pass the time. I kept telling myself I'd just confront her later about giving her number to another man. I didn't want to believe she was capable of more. But just as I was about to start my car and leave, I saw her. She came out of her mom's house, except she wasn't in her work clothes anymore. She was dressed up nice, hair done, makeup touched up, outfit way different from the gas station uniform she had been wearing earlier. My heart sank. She got in her car and drove off. I followed. About 10 minutes later, she pulled into some random driveway. She got out, walked inside, and didn't look back. The texts and the lies. I sat there in disbelief. My hands were shaking. I sent her a text. "Hey, you okay? What's going on?" A few minutes later, she replied, "Yes, my mother's fine. We're both beat and falling asleep on the couch. See you tomorrow." When I read that, I wanted to throw my phone through the windshield. She was lying straight to my face. Here she was inside another man's house, telling me she was cuddled up with her mom. That's when I decided I had to know the truth. The moment I'll never forget. I got out of my car and walked up to the house. I didn't even know who lived there. I was ready to knock, maybe even call her out right there on the spot. But before I could even raise my hand, I heard it, moaning, loud, clear. I froze. My body went numb. I edged closer and peeked through the front window. What I saw crushed me. My wife of just 1 year, was having sex with some dude right there on the couch. She didn't look guilty. She didn't look hesitant. She looked into it, enjoying it. I felt so small in that moment, like I was nothing. Like all my hard work, all my faithfulness, all my sacrifices meant zero. I turned around, walked back to my car, and drove straight home, packing her things. The entire drive back, my mind was racing. I kept seeing her face in that window. I kept hearing the sounds. I couldn't breathe. By the time I got home, I knew what I had to do. I grabbed every piece of her clothing, every personal item she owned, and dragged it all out into the parking space we shared at our apartment complex. Suitcases, bags, everything. I didn't care. I wanted her gone. I told myself I'd stay up all night and wait for her, but the exhaustion hit me hard. I ended up passing out on the couch. The morning after, I woke up to the sound of her screaming. She had walked in the front door and saw all her stuff piled outside. She was furious. "Why is my stuff outside?" I sat up, looked her dead in the eye, and said, "Get the heck out. We are getting a divorce." Her response, she tried to gaslight me. "Divorce because I care about my mother. Why are you so insecure?" That's when I unloaded. I told her everything. I told her I knew she gave her number out at work. I told her I followed her. I told her I saw her. I told her I heard her. At first, she denied it. Then she fell to her knees, sobbing, playing the victim. She claimed she felt forced and couldn't say no. But I knew what I saw. Nobody forced her to lie to me in texts. Nobody forced her to dress up nice and go over there. Nobody forced her to moan like she was enjoying herself. That's when I knew it was over. Where I'm at now, I'm still processing it all, to be honest. We were only married for a year, together for 6. To think it ended like this at 24 is just insane. I don't know if she's cheated before. Maybe she has and just never got caught. Maybe this was the first time. But it doesn't even matter now. The trust is gone. I'll be real with you, true story. I feel broken, but at the same time, I feel relieved. Because at least now I know who she really is. At least I'm not wasting another 10 years on someone who doesn't value loyalty. I wanted to share this with you because I know your channel has guys out there listening who might be in similar situations. My advice? Trust your gut. If something feels off, it probably is. Don't ignore the red flags. And most importantly, don't let anyone gaslight you into thinking you're crazy when you know what you saw. There's more to the story if you're interested. How she tried to spin it afterward, how her family reacted, and how I'm moving on now. I can send that in if you'd like. For now, though, that's the story of how my marriage ended. Thanks for taking the time to read this. Part 2. How my ex tried. Spinning the story, the divorce, and moving on. Hey, true story. It's Alan again. You asked if I could follow up with the rest of the story, and I think I owe it to the guys listening to finish it out and not just send you part of my story. So let me walk you through what happened after I caught her, how she tried spinning everything, the way her family responded, the divorce process, and finally, how I managed to move on. The spin game. The morning I put her stuff outside and told her it was over was just the beginning. If you thought she was guilty or embarrassed, think again. She immediately switched into defense mode. First, she tried the I was forced narrative. She said she couldn't say no to the guy, that he pressured her, that she was scared. I'll be real with you. If I hadn't seen her with my own eyes, I might have questioned myself. That's how manipulative she was, but I knew better. I saw her dressed up. I saw the makeup. I saw her walk in that house on her own 2 feet. Nobody forced her into that. When that didn't work, she tried the sympathy angle. She cried and said, "Alan, I'm only 24. I made a mistake. Don't throw everything away." She painted it like a one-time slip-up, like it was some minor mistake in judgment. But to me, it wasn't just one night. It was a betrayal of everything we had built from 18 to 24. 6 years of my life down the drain. And then, when I still didn't budge, she got nasty. She flipped it on me. She said I was insecure, controlling, and that I must have been spying on her because I didn't trust her. That's the gaslighting part that still makes me angry. She turned her cheating into a conversation about my trust issues. Classic cheater tactic, the family factor. I didn't just have to deal with her, I had to deal with her family too. When word got out that I wanted a divorce, her mom called me. She said, "Alan, you can't throw a marriage away over one mistake. People make mistakes. You're too young to be so rigid." That hit me wrong, because in my mind, marriage wasn't something to play with. It wasn't like she left a dirty dish in the sink. She slept with another man. That's not a mistake. That's a choice. Her dad was quieter, but I could tell he leaned toward protecting his daughter no matter what. He said something like, "Marriage takes work, son. You gotta forgive sometimes." I told him, "With all due respect, sir, your daughter wasn't working on anything. She was working on somebody else." That ended that conversation. Some of her extended family even messaged me on social media saying I was overreacting, that I should pray on it and try counseling. But the truth was, I didn't need counseling. I needed freedom. I needed to reclaim my peace of mind. The only family member who actually told me the truth was her cousin. She hit me up privately and said, "Alan, I'm not supposed to tell you this, but she's been sneaky for a while. You just finally caught her." That hurt. It confirmed what I already suspected, that maybe this wasn't the first time. The divorce. Filing for divorce at 24 felt surreal. Most people my age are still trying to figure out what to do with their lives. And here I was, signing papers to end a marriage. Luckily, we didn't have kids, and we didn't own property together. That made the process a lot cleaner. But clean doesn't mean painless. She dragged it out by refusing to sign at first. She claimed she still wanted to work on us, but I think deep down she just didn't want to look like the bad guy. Eventually, after a couple of months, she signed. In court, she played the victim. She told the judge I was controlling and emotionally distant. She even tried to make it sound like I was the reason she strayed. I sat there shaking my head, but I stayed calm. The judge wasn't buying her story. In the end, the divorce went through. No alimony, no assets to split. Just two people walking away from each other. But I'll be honest, even with no legal baggage, the emotional baggage weighed heavy. Rock bottom. After the divorce, I hit rock bottom for a while. I didn't want to go out, didn't want to talk to people, didn't want to even think about dating. I buried myself in work, but even that felt empty. I kept replaying that night in my head. The window, the moaning, the lies in her texts. It haunted me. There were nights I barely slept. I questioned myself constantly. Was I not enough? Did I miss signs? Could I have prevented this? But eventually I realized those were the wrong questions. The real question was, why was I blaming myself for someone else's betrayal? That shift in thinking saved me. The career breakthrough. Not long after the divorce, I got an opportunity I couldn't refuse. A bigger electrical company reached out, offering me a position. The pay was significantly higher than what I had been making, with benefits and a clear path for advancement. At first, I hesitated. I was so wrapped up in my personal drama that I didn't feel ready for change. But then I realized this was my chance to redirect my energy. Instead of wasting my 20s mourning a failed marriage, I could build something better for myself. I took the job, and let me tell you, it changed everything. Suddenly, I was working with a professional crew, learning new skills, and getting paid more than I ever thought possible at my age. The stability and sense of accomplishment I felt from that job gave me confidence again. It reminded me that my worth wasn't tied to a broken relationship. Moving on. With time, the pain started to fade. I won't say it disappeared, but it got easier. I started focusing on the gym, on work, on spending time with friends. I realized there's a whole world out there beyond one failed marriage. As for dating, I'm not rushing. I've gone on a few dates here and there, but nothing serious. Right now, I'm more focused on building my future than I am on finding another partner. If someone comes along who's genuine and loyal, great, but I'll never ignore red flags again. The best part is that I don't wake up angry anymore. I don't feel that pit in my stomach like I did during the divorce. I wake up motivated. I wake up knowing I dodged a bullet. Final thoughts. If there's one thing I've learned through all this, it's that betrayal doesn't define you. It feels like the end of the world when you're in it, but it's really just the beginning of a new chapter. My ex tried spinning the story. Her family tried minimizing it, but the truth always stood firm. She cheated, she lied, and she lost a good man because of it. Now I'm on the other side. Divorced at 24, yes, but also free. Employed at a great company and focused on myself. That's more than I can say for her. Last I heard, she's still at the gas station, bouncing between excuses and dead-end situations. And honestly, that's her problem now. Thanks for letting me share part 2. True story. If guys out there take anything from me, let it be this. Don't let anyone convince you to settle for disloyalty. Walk away, focus on yourself, and you'll be surprised how much brighter life gets on the other side.